Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because of small, invisible habits quietly destroying them from within. We don't just live in a competitive world, we live in a dangerous one, not physically, but mentally. A world where the wrong mindset can slowly sabotage your future. That's why it's not enough to just be smart, and it's not enough to just work hard. You have to be aware, disciplined, and careful about what's happening inside your own mind. Because there are certain attitude diseases, and if you don't recognize them early, they will destroy every good thing you try to build. Let's start with the first one, indifference. It doesn't look dangerous. It's quiet, subtle, almost invisible. It shows up as a shrug, a whatever attitude, a person drifting through life with no urgency, no fire, no care. But here's the truth. You can drift, but you will never drift to the top of a mountain. Success is never an accident, and indifference is one of the fastest ways to fail. Some people say, I just don't see the point in getting too excited. But that's exactly the problem. If you want to win at anything, you have to care. You have to feel something. You have to bring energy into what you do. Here's the rule. Whatever you do, give it everything you've got. Don't hold back. Don't wait for the perfect moment. And don't do things halfway. Because when you fully commit, one of two things happens. Either it opens doors you never expected, or it shows you that you're in the wrong place. And both outcomes are valuable, but most people lie to themselves. They say, if I had a better job, I'd give it my all. That's not the truth. That's an excuse. Because if you don't give your best right now, you won't give your best anywhere else. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, show up fully and give it everything. That's how your life begins to change. Now let's talk about the second attitude disease. Indecision. This one is even more dangerous. It feels like being stuck, constantly thinking, overthinking, hesitating, but never moving. Over time, it turns into paralysis. You know you're stuck. You even admit it. I'm on the fence. But then fear takes over. What if I choose the wrong side? Here's the truth. After a while, it doesn't even matter. Just get off the fence. Because standing still is more dangerous than making a mistake. The best way to live is simple. Move, decide, act. One way or another, forward is always better than frozen. Pick a direction and go with everything you've got. Just choose one and commit to it fully. People often say, but what if it's the wrong direction? The truth is, you'll find out much faster by moving than by standing still. A life full of adventure is simply a life full of decisions. Some of those decisions will be wrong, but those are the ones that give you the experience to make better ones next time. So don't try to avoid decisions. Instead, step into them. That's where growth lives. That's where life becomes exciting. So shake off indecision and move forward. Now let's talk about another dangerous disease, doubt. Doubt spreads like a plague, and one of the worst forms of it is self-doubt. When a person starts questioning themselves, everything begins to fall apart. They doubt how long they can last, how well they can perform, how much they can achieve. They begin to shrink their own potential, and you can imagine the damage this does to the future. So here's the key. Flip the coin, become a believer, and one of the most important things you must believe in is yourself. Understanding your own worth is where progress truly begins. If doubt doesn't stop you, then this one might. Worry. Worry is one of the most devastating diseases of all. It affects your health, your relationships, your peace of mind, your entire life. Worry long enough and it will bring you to your knees. I know this because I lived it. I used to be a chronic worrier. Not a warrior, but a worrier. And it held me back more than anything else. But one day, I made a decision to give it up. Not because it was easy, but because it was worth it. It took time, almost a full year, and it was one of the hardest mental battles I've ever faced. But in the end, I won, and what I discovered was powerful. You can live an incredible life free from worry, not free from challenges, but free from the weight of constant fear. Next comes overcaution. Some people never achieve much, not because they lack ability, but because they're too careful. Now, being reckless is dangerous, but being overly cautious can be just as limiting. It creates a timid approach to life. I used to live like that, constantly asking, what if this goes wrong? That question alone can stop you from ever trying. But then I realized something that changed everything. Life itself is risky. The moment you were born, the risk began. If you think trying is risky, wait until you experience the cost of not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait until you see what happens when you don't. Everything carries risk. Relationships, business, decisions, even time itself. And here's the truth. You're not getting out of life alive anyway. So why not take the chance? Why not live boldly? Don't ask for safety. Ask for adventure. Because a short life lived fully is far more meaningful than a long life lived in fear.